Planet Radio 101.1 FM, revolving around you.
It's the news at noon. In the news, federal government alerts Nigerians of flood threat. Military says 31 terrorists killed and 81 arrested in 1 week. Members of State Executive Council of Akwa Ibom pledges better output in service delivery to the people. On the foreign scene, Romania and Hungary fly 460 nationals out of Israel. In sports, Barcelona fight back to draw against Granada as Lamine Yamal sets record. Details coming up shortly. Good afternoon. Welcome to the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM. Uyo. I am Davina Praise Omang. Our first report this afternoon is that the Minister of State for Environment, Dr. Isiaq Salako, has asked Nigerians residents on floodplains, particularly those by River Benue, to move to higher grounds. Salako made this call in a statement signed by the head of press and public relations in the ministry, Ibrahim Haruna, following the flood prediction issued by the Federal Ministry of Environment, National Flood Early Warning Systems Hub. The minister stated that reports from Adamawa and Taraba states had shown that the predicted flooding was already taking place, hence the need for urgent actions by all stakeholders in food management nationwide. Salako called on the National Emergency Management Agency, the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian and Poverty Alleviation Affairs, the Red Cross Crescent, the Federal Road Safety Commission, the Federal Ministry of Water Resources, the Federal Ministry of Health, the state emergency management agencies, among others, to activate their flood emergency response actions. These response actions, according to Salako, should be geared towards awareness creation, evacuation, provision of basic needs and temporary shelter, as well as providing medical attention and facilities. Away from that, the federal government has approved the appointment of doctors, nurses, and other clinical healthcare workers as contract staff after attaining their compulsory retirement age or years. The government, however, said the appointed contract staff would be on the same salary scale level that they retired on if they desire and deserve it. A circular obtained by newsmen by the Federal Ministry of Health directed the chief executive agencies, chief medical directors, and heads of regulatory bodies and schools to ensure compliance with the circular earlier issued by the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, OHCSF, to all staff in their institutions. Recall that the Office of the OHCSF had in a circular rejected the upward review of the current retirement age of medical and dental consultants and other health professionals from 60 to 70 and 75 respectively. It also said it was dissatisfied with health workers' attitude to work, noting that in spite of efforts by the government to encourage health workers, the exodus of health workers had not abated. Council, however, approved that clinical health workers who have attained the compulsory retirement age or years may be given contract appointment on the same salary scale level that they retired on, if desired and deserved. In education, the federal government, through Universal Basic Education (UBEC), has secured a grant of $98 million from the Islamic Development Bank to fund bilingual education project in 9 states. The beneficiary states are Adamawa, Borno, Gombe, Kaduna, Kano, Kwara, Nasarawa, Niger, and Osun. A notice of procurement issued by the UBEC revealed that the federal government of Nigeria has received financing for an amount of $98 million towards the cost of bilingual education project and intends to apply part of the proceeds for the procurement of instructional materials and supplies for the 30 bilingual education boarding schools in the 9 participating states. According to reports, Adamawa has 3 bilingual schools, Borno has 3, Gombe 3, Kaduna 4, Kano 4, Kwara 3, Nasarawa 3, Niger 4, and Osun 3. On security, the Defense Headquarters says troops have in the last 1 week neutralized 31 terrorists and apprehended 81 others in various operations across the northeast, north central, and northwest. The Director, Defense Media Operations, Edward Bulba, said this in a statement in Abuja. Bulba said the troops also rescued 10 kidnapped hostages with a total of 63 Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists, and their families surrendered to troops across theaters of operation. In the northeast, he said the troops of Operation Hadin Kai conducted fighting patrols in the Bama and Chibok local government areas of Borno, as well as Gujba local government area of Yobe State. Bulba said the troops also recovered 12 AK-47 rifles, 2 locally fabricated rifles, 3 Dane guns, 181 rounds of 7.62 mm special ammunition, 4 magazines, and 3 motorcycles, among other items. According to Buba, the military, through its operations, will continue to prevail against the effects of insurgency and terrorism, with an ultimate goal of securing the country against perpetrators of insecurity for national progress. In another development, telecommunications telcos operators have asked the House of Representatives to intervene on some of the challenges confronting Nigeria's $77 billion telecoms industry. The telcos, under the aegis of Association of Licensed Telecoms Operators of Nigeria, ALTON, met with the House Committee on Communications led by the chairman of the committee, Peter Patterson, the deputy chairman and clerk, Bukola Ayeni. On a document presented at the meeting, they listed areas of concern as refusal of the Federal Capital Development Authority, FCDA, to grant build permit for infrastructure rollout to service providers in Abuja, non-passage of the Critical National Information Structure Bill into law, multiple taxation, and non-review of pricing regulatory framework, among others. Alton explained that provision of telecom service in Abuja has been hampered by the refusal of FCDA and Abuja Metropolitan Management Council, AMMC, to permit members to build sites. Adebayo said despite concerted engagement, FCDA has insisted that due to the need to maintain the Abuja master plan, it would not grant approval to telecoms operators to build new sites. He noted that telecom services depend on terrestrial infrastructure, and without it, quality of service cannot be guaranteed. Back here, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Umar Eno has assured of his administration's commitment to the implementation of the Arise Agenda blueprint into tangible sectoral developments in line with the agenda thrust. Briefing Government House correspondents at the Victor Atta International Airport on his return from the 4-day retreat of Akwa Ibom State Executive Council members on Arise Agenda implementation strategy, Governor Eno said that the retreat was part of his team building strategy for implementation of the Arise Agenda. He said that retreat tagged Arise Agenda Mapping the Future, held at Echo Hotels and Suites, Lagos, afforded the team the opportunity to distill the Arise Agenda concept into an executable governance roadmap that will yield dividends for Akwa Ibom people. Government House correspondent Jane Uwa reports that the governor therefore expressed optimism on his team's readiness to deliver in accordance with the set timelines to realize expected results.
We expect results. I call it team building. If you have a team, you put them together. Even Jesus did it. Take them out, talk with them. This is all of the Arise agenda we had to download and then distill it properly to the various ministries, the work that all of us will do. So we believe that we are now good to go. All the ministries, all of us know what we are to do, when we are to do it. That's what we have to. So we have a full roadmap and we now implementation plan of the Arise agenda.
In the meantime, the members of the State Executive Council of Akwa Ibom State Government have ended their 4-day retreat with a joint resolve to better their output in the delivery of service to the people of the state. The State Commissioner for Information, Comrade Imi Ememobong, who disclosed this at the retreat with the theme Arise Agenda, Mapping the Future, had eminent resource persons like the immediate past governor of the state, Udom Emmanuel, Bismarck Rowain, Professor Oluwole Ajayi, Dr. Emmanuel Ekuem, Dr. Clement Ignanugo, Arnold Narula and Obehi Air Okafor, among others, who facilitated knowledge-sharing sessions where the economic outlook of the nation and state were analyzed and targets set for the state government generally and specific ministries, departments and agencies. The facilitators and participants agreed that the general economic target of the state government will be to grow at least 3% above the national GDP and to significantly increase revenue by increasing internally generated revenue, public-private partnerships, and adopting innovative infrastructure funding alternatives. According to him, all the ministries and other units of government critical to the Arise agenda made presentations highlighting the needs, execution, timelines, resources required, and sustainability plan on projects under their watch. Meanwhile, the governor, Pastor Umo Eno, who participated in all the sessions, appreciated the facilitators for their excellent delivery of the retreat and also charged the members of the Executive Council and other appointees to ensure strict adherence to the timelines attached to each of the projects as they will be accessed by those indices. He appreciated the immediate past governor, Udom Emmanuel, for accepting to deliver the keynote address at the retreat and for his continuous selfless service to the state despite having left office. He reiterated that the holistic goal of the Arise agenda is to complete transformation of Akwa Ibom State from a civil service state to an industrial hub and investors' haven. He announced that the 31 projects that stakeholders of the various local government areas had set sports and entertainment scenes. Do stay with us.
Healthy living begins with the choices one makes. Choosing to live healthy is the first step to healthy living. Join us Sundays 1:30 to 2 p.m. for Health Way. Awareness for healthy choices.
Many thanks for staying with us. On the foreign scene, the Romanian Foreign Ministry has said that Romania and Hungary have flown 460 of their citizens out of Israel in the wake of an ongoing multi-front attack by Gaza militants. Reports say that a total of 245 persons were flown out of Israel to Romania. Meanwhile, 215 Hungarian citizens were airlifted out of Tel Aviv on 2 military planes following the large-scale attack by Hamas militants on Israel. Foreign Minister Peter Sujato said on Facebook that the Hungarian Air Force planes landed on Budapest airport this morning. In sports, teenager Lamine Yamal became the youngest goal scorer in La Liga history as Barcelona fought back from 2 goals down to earn a point against Granada. Aged 16 years and 87 years old, Yamal kick-started Barcelona's comeback. The visitors fell behind after just 17 seconds with Brian Zaragoza's first half double, putting Granada in charge. But after Yamal scored in first half added time, Sergio Roberto eventually ended Granada's resistance with 5 minutes. The point left Barcelona 3 points behind leaders Real Madrid and 1 behind second place Girona heading into the international break. Still in sports, UEFA has postponed all matches scheduled in Israel during the next fortnight amid increased tensions in the region. The government said that more than 600 Israelis have been killed in attacks from Gaza since Saturday. UEFA said Israel's Euro 2024 qualifier against Switzerland on Thursday is among matches postponed in light of the current security situation. European football's governing body says new dates will be arranged. On our entertainment scene, Afrobeat musician David Adeleke, better known as Davido, has reacted to comedian AY's public apology following his insensitive joke. Recall that AY, during his recent stage performance in Warri, made insensitive comments about Davido impregnating many women while he had been trying without success. The joke drew criticism from netizens who condemned the comedian for publicly disrespecting his fellow entertainer. Reacting to the apology, Davido took to the comedian's comment section to assure him not to worry. It's been the news on Planet Radio 101.1 FM. Yo, but before we go, a recap of the major stories. Minister of State for Environment, Dr. Isiaq Salako, has asked Nigerian residents on floodplains, particularly those by River Benue, to move to higher grounds. The federal government has approved the appointment of doctors